actually just looked it up. This is the first time since week 5 of last year that Bubba Gump was not either in the sole possession of the division lead or tied in the division lead. So quite a run there for Bubba at the top of the South, but he's still only right below Brutal. Negroes and Hong Kong at 4 and 5, still right in the thick of things, even being below 500 past the midway point. They still have a fighting chance. Soglo at 3 and 6, and the Senators at 1 and 8. And now taking a gander here at the Pick'em standings. The story of the Pick'em this year, as we all know, has been Coach Jae Young Kim. And again, for the 6th time out of 9 chances, he got the most points, got the most accurate this week. Him along with Coach Phil and myself all got 5 correct this week. So again, no ground has been gained at all. If anything, he is actually cementing his lead. He now has 42 points. He has a 6-point lead now over the next guy, which is Brandon. So we're all looking up at him. And remember, those contender votes will factor in at the end of the regular season.
The Power Rankings. Hey, who's number 1? Hey, who's second ass? The Dynasty Power Rankings.
I don't know about you guys, but every time I hear the Fox song for the football song there that we used for the Power Rankings jingle, I can't help but now hear the Dynasty Power Rankings jingle when I'm watching regular football. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I digress. The Power Rankings article was written by head of the Power Rankings, Bubba Gump, Bubba Palucha. As usual, fantastic job, wonderfully done. The picture is an action shot of the toilet bowl, which took place this weekend. As you can see, there was literally no one in attendance. Completely vacant stadium. The guards and Coach Will went at it on the toilet, literally, and good to get a good little picture of that. Now, looking at the rankings, we have a new unanimous number 1 choice at the top now of number 1 of the Power Rankings. He's been at the top number 1 slot for a couple weeks now, but he now has the unanimous vote via the panel. The Riverdale Scoopers, 60 points. Number 2, shooting up from number 4, Coach McDowell, Brutal Deluxe, now at the top of his Southern Riverdale division. Number 3, going down 1 slot, the Amber Alerts, but still right there. Number 4, now Bubba Gump. He drops down from 3 down to 4. Yellow Peril, continuing to kind of climb his way up the rankings, going up from 6th now into 5th slot. Handy Quacks does get a little boost from his victory, is now in the 6th slot. The Hunters are now in the 7th position, dropping down from 5th. Negroes has gone up now to 9th. In 8th. They're now in 8th. Negroes is now in 8th. Hong Kong in 9th. Soglo in 10th. Senators out of the basement there at 11th, winning the toilet bowl. And the Iron Dogs are now the league's worst team.
Now, let's take a look into the future with next week's matchups.
Week number 10 is divisional rivalry weekend. After 3 straight games playing the other division, we now all get to play our bitter, hated divisional rival. And the panel voted to have 2 Game of the Weeks this week. It was a split vote, so we have Jumbo Donuts Games of the Week. The first one being the 8-1 Riverdale Scoopers versus the 6-3 Yellow Peril. The Scoopers are the number 1 team in the league and winners of 7 straight. But Coach Kim's on a little 3-game winning streak of his own, and he's gotten himself right back into this thing. In week 4, the Scoopers won 98-74, So Coach Kim is trying to avoid getting swept. And in the second game of the week this week, the 5-4 Handy Quacks up against the 5-4 Heritage Park Hunters. We're going to talk a little bit more about this game later in the podcast. The next game, the 6-3 Amber Alerts versus the 1-8 Iron Dogs. Now, co-coach Jeff Gard actually has a good history against Coach Johnny C, as he's 8-5 against him all time. But in Week 1, the Alerts defeated the Guards 134-83. The Alerts now have the league's best receiving rank, while the Guards are last in passing and rushing. The next game is the 1-8 Rockdalian Senators coming off a win, believe it or not, up against the 4-5 Negro Damas. These two divisional rivals just flat out don't like each other personally. This thing is personal now. This will be their 16th time playing each other, and Coach Tamulus beat Coach Will in Week 2, 117-82, but the Senators are looking to start up a new winning streak. The next game is the 5-4 Bubba Gump Shrimp up against the 3-6 Soglo. These two former lovers both lost last week. Coach Bub defeated Coach Tavaleri in Week 1, 159-96, and Bubba's top-ranked defense wants a win to hopefully get back to the division lead. And then lastly, we have the 6-3 South Riverdale division leading Brutal Deluxe up against 4-5 Hong Kong Cavaliers. Now, Brutal are the winners of 3 straight, while Hong Kong is quickly falling right off the map, losers of 3 straight. McDowell beat Whiffen 132-89 back in Week 3, but a victory by the Cavs here would seriously make the South Riverdale division anyone's for the taking.
We have ourselves breaking news from the world of the Dynasty.
Brought to you by Jumbo Donuts.
I have just been handed a telegram. Yes, a telegram. It looks like we have ourselves 2 trades that have just gone through. It's kind of interesting. In this season, we've seen some serious waves when it comes to trading. We've had kind of the beginning of the towards the beginning of the season, what was it, like 9 or 10 trades go on in a matter of like 2 weeks. Then we had a little silent period, and then we had a shitload of trades happen again. And anyway, it was reported on the Riverdale Gazette Twitter page recently that Chris Johnson said, quote, "Nothing against Coach Whiffen, but I feel like I'm not in a place where I can succeed, unlike my time as a Solglonian." End quote. Well, looks like Chris Johnson is getting his wish, because he has just been traded back to Solglo. We all remember Chris Johnson as a Solglonian, and I believe he led the Coach Tav to a Dynasty Championship a few years ago. Anyway, the trade is as follows. Solglo receives Chris Johnson and a 13th and 14th round pick in 2012's draft, which were actually originally Solglo's. And Hong Kong receives running back Daniel Thomas, who has pretty much been almost on everyone's team this year, and a 2012 5th round pick. Interesting. And in the second trade, a little bit of a lesser than a blockbuster trade than the first one here, but still could be an important one nonetheless. We have a trade between the Amber Alerts and Yellow Peril. Looks like the Alerts have received wide receiver Victor Cruz, no relation to Tom. And in return, Coach Kim has received a 7th round pick in next year's draft. And now, on the Jumbo Donuts hotline, we got ourselves the coach of the 5-4 Heritage Park Hunters, Coach Glenn Stacy. Coach, I'm flabbergasted to have you on the show, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, the Commissioner.
Now, Coach, you came into the season with one goal and one goal only, and that was to win the whole damn thing. You currently sit at 5-4, and you're in a very competitive division. You're in an absolute dogfight right now to get one of those 4 coveted playoff spots. How are you feeling right now?
No,